Government has just issued a statement on reports about it intervening in the matters of Reserve Bank of India. The government says that there are extensive, or rather there have been extensive consultations between the government and the Reserve Bank of India. And interestingly, the statement doesn't mention the invoking of the never used before provision of the RBI Act, which is Section 7. Managing Editor, Business Today, Rajeev Dubey joins us for more on this. Rajeev, but doesn't it clamp down on the autonomy of the central bank? There may have been consultations with the Reserve Bank of India, but doesn't this really clamp down on the autonomy?
So very interesting, Avantika, that the government in its statement which has just come out, this is the statement here and I'll just talk about it, but the government in its statement has not mentioned very cleverly the invocation of Section 7. However, there is a giveaway. The giveaway is this: in this statement it's talking about public interest, precisely what Section 7 talks about. And then it says that the government and the RBI have been in discussions, extensive consultations, and that it has been telling the RBI what is in public interest. And then it says that the government through these consultations has made its assessments to the RBI very clear. But the most interesting thing is the last line in this statement that the government has issued, and which is a very emphatic line. It says that the government will continue to do so. This basically is saying that the government on this issue and on this dispute is not backing off. And that's the most interesting thing. As we have been saying, the question is, who's going to blink first?
Oh, absolutely. But what would the implications of this act mean, Rajeev, for the functioning of the Reserve Bank of India, that actually should be independent and should work on its own? And by invoking a provision that has never been done so in the past, what does that entail? Chidambaram has just tweeted out, he's saying that there is more bad news to come. What is he indicating at?
Well, this has never been done in its 74 years of history. You know, 1934 is when RBI was set up. So something that has not been done all this while is basically means that it had reached a break point. It had reached a situation where the discussions were just not reaching anywhere, and so the government had to issue a direction. It's a direction to the RBI.
The only way to break that log jam? I mean, don't you think that this would be catastrophic? This would have an impact on the markets as well. What if the RBI chief, resigns? There are murmurs doing the rounds now.
There has been a lot of rumors since the beginning of the day today that he's considering resigning, and that we've checked with the RBI. There has been no response as yet. There's no confirmation of that as yet. But it has reached a situation where both the sides have practically been acting unilaterally. There have been occasions when RBI has acted unilaterally, and there has also been occasions where the government has acted unilaterally as far as the areas of RBI is concerned, like the SASHAKT norms that the government introduced, and removing Nachiket More from the board of RBI. Maybe these were things that have not been done in consultation with the RBI governor, and so it has reached a situation where there seems to be no solution to this, and so the government has had to invoke the section. And like it said, it is in public interest, but most emphatically it has said that the government will continue to do so, which basically means that it's not backing off from this.
But what really could be the danger of invoking Section 7, Rajeev? What does that mean now, and how really would be the functioning of the Reserve Bank of India and also the government? I mean, the government putting out that statement there that it's not really intervening and there have been consultations. So were they apprised that the government would be taking a step like this if they don't fall in line?
No, it's very clear that the suggestions that the government has been making to the RBI have not been implemented by RBI, especially with reference to the government's worry that there isn't enough liquidity in the system and that NBFCs may go bust. Some of the bigger NBFCs may have to default on their payments, and that's largely happening because there are 12 banks which are under prompt corrective action, which are about 30%, one-third of all the banking loans in the system. So the center has been saying that why don't you let them lend more and increase their business to the NBFCs and to their businesses at large. That's something that the government has been worried about, because it's worried that if there is a ripple effect of ILFS on other NBFCs, it may really cause a problem in the economy.
Very interesting. Rajeev, thanks so much for joining us and just, putting perspective and adding context to this move taken by the CBI against the Reserve Bank of India.